Zombies? I was surprised. Of course, necromancers could summon skeletons and other undead to their service, but this was the first time I had ever seen an undead player. Most surprisingly, all the zombies were at the same levels their characters had been at in life. Zombie Sofitel, for example, was at level 107, and by the way, she didn't look quite as beautiful as she usually did. Half her face was burnt to a crisp, and one of her arms was twisted at an unnatural angle. The others, too, looked a lot less dangerous and battle-ready than their high levels would have suggested. The guards were already in a defensive formation, and to my considerable relief, they were positioned between me and the zombies. The inspector and the massive executioner were also distracted by the new opponents, and immediately lost all interest in me. "Guard him," the mage commanded two of the guards. With that, he set off into the square with the executioner and the rest of the guard troop. The players who happened to be closest to the zombies when they rose found themselves under immediate attack, and something interesting became clear. The zombies were freely able to use abilities, skills, and items, the same ones that should logically have teleported back to the respawn points with the players who owned them. I was standing there in relative safety, watching what was happening as sort of a detached observer. The zombies weren't well coordinated at all. They frequently got in each other's way and even dealt damage to other zombies. But they didn't pay even the slightest attention to any wounds they incurred. Even with pain settings at the absolute minimum, players would always feel pain and react accordingly. But these zombies started pressing forward with no fear whatsoever. Even losing a limb didn't seem to bother them. The players quickly coordinated their efforts. Thankfully for them, most of them were members of the Spirit of the Hunt or their allies, so this came relatively easy to them. Nevertheless, the beastly executioner was doing more damage than anybody else, whirling his club around at terrifying speed and blowing the zombies into shards of flesh and blood. Thankfully, they didn't come back again after that. That said, players and guards began to die too, and it didn't take long for them to come back as zombies themselves. It seemed like the process might carry on forever, after all. Players could keep dying time after time, and when they did, they would keep creating zombie copies of themselves. Somewhat belatedly, in my opinion, a system communication appeared before my eyes. "Eidolon, god of the dead, has appeared in Arktania. From this day forward, the dead will have a voice of their own, and it will be heard. All who kill in the name of Prophet will be cursed, and those they have killed will rise up against them. Temporary curse." Right after that message came another. "Attention! The city has declared martial law for the duration of the curse. Players will receive achievement points for every zombie they kill. The Church of Light blesses you. All players receive plus 50 damage and defense when in battle against the undead."